Purusha Intuitive. Welcome and thank you for tuning in. I am Deborah, founder of Purusha Holistic Wellness. We love everything mind, body, soul wellness. So welcome to our daily astrology reading. I hope you're doing well. Happy, what is it? It's Friday. Whoop, whoop. So we're getting ready for the weekend. Yeah. I hope you're doing well. Hope it's a good Friday for you. These readings are just general collective energy, where the planets are. Obviously, depending on where your houses fall, where the planets fall in your houses will kind of dictate where you're going to find this energy manifesting in your life. So, just if the message resonates with you, it's definitely meant for you. But if not, then, just leave it behind. There's a lot of really great readers on the YouTube, so I'm sure you'll be able to find something that resonates with you. All right, so that being said, let's get going. Energy is lifting a little bit, from yesterday. I like this. We're getting a little bit more Venus energy involved. So Saturn is still a dominant, Saturn and Jupiter, but with that Venus energy, it's kind of bringing about a little bit more of a softness. There is a lot of fire today, a lot of fire in this chart. So just be mindful, in regards to fire, obviously, it's igniting, it's powerful. Sometimes it can overwhelm, overconsume. So really make sure that, if you're kind of having an off day or you're feeling like, someone's just rubbing you the wrong way, it's best to kind of just steer clear. In our tarot reading today, it talked about spending time with yourself, kind of going within, really reflecting on who you are, what you want, what you're trying to bring in. Like I said, because that Venus energy is helping soften things. There's still kind of some fantasy at play. We've talked about this with Neptune in retrograde in Pisces. It's making things, emotional. It's kind of, it's making it hard to find that clarity, especially surrounding things that we are feeling nervous or afraid or uncomfortable or uncertain about. It's going to play off that energy. And there's actually like a lot of, Neptune, Jupiter, the moon, and Chiron or Chiron are kind of all lumped together in the same house. Like I mentioned, depending on your natal chart will kind of dictate where this is happening in your own life. But usually when we have all of those planets in one house, there's a lot going on within that specific area in our life. So just really being mindful with the things that are kind of triggering you, where you can maybe respond a little bit differently. But this is also that extra layer of maintaining your own empowerment. It's not about being subservient or rolling over backwards. We have to just kind of measure where the fire energy, the Mars, can kind of overwhelm in our life, i.e. the anger, the aggression, forcing the issue, trying to get our way, manipulating, controlling situations, etc. But it doesn't mean that all those energies are bad. There's always like the light and the dark within everything. There's always, the good and the bad. It's shades of gray is how I've heard it. I like that concept. It seems less rigid is what I want to say. But just remembering there is that value in our own sense of pride and empowerment. It's just also saying that you want to make sure that's coming from a place of integrity and moral value. And really that is your alignment within yourself. And you'll kind of know where you fall on that spectrum based on what is going on in your life. You know, Pluto is in Capricorn, which can make a lot of the transitions that we're moving through more difficult and challenging. The nice thing is it is in harmonious aspect to Jupiter, which basically means that, like, you know, things are getting better, it's easing up, we're understanding a little bit more, you know, some of that energy is relenting a little bit. Even though it takes Pluto a long time to move through signs, you know, it still kind of is nearing the edge of you know, moving towards Aquarian energy. So it's not, like I said, it's not all a crapshoot, you know, and hence why we're seeing a little bit more of a softening with that Venus energy. What else should we talk about? Okay. You know, so being mindful. Okay, so another player, while we are talking about Pluto, I'll touch on this too, because it's showing that Pluto is in opposition to Black Moon Lilith. If you've been following along in the videos or you know about astrology, Black Moon Lilith is kind of that trickster energy. She is what comes into our life and throws us those curveballs. And she usually likes to, you know, dance with the devil, so to speak. So it's anything that can be very enticing, very alluring, you know, and we have to be cognizant of that. I feel like sometimes she comes in our life when we say, like, hey, I am making this decision to make this change. I no longer want to be a part of this, like, you know, whatever. And then she comes in to say, are you sure about that? Let me just check, because I'm going to dangle this carrot in front of you and see if you take the bait. And so there is something that comes up today that's like, be mindful of that. It's going to, you know, it's going to kind of strike some heartstrings too, because she is currently in Cancer. And with Cancer energy, it is more water energy. It is our heart, it's our home, it's the way that we feel like loved and supported and nurtured, you know. And so there might be something that's like very comforting, you know, that comes into play, that, but it's actually, like we've been talking about, it's taking you back to the old way of being. And I feel like that's not something you want to align with anymore. You know, you have all these spaces where it's like emotionally, I'm not getting wrangled into this, you know, I'm making positive steps for myself when it comes to, you know, my career, my wealth, what I'm stacking for, you know, my long-term type thing. And it's helping me kind of overcome those places where I thought I couldn't do it, right? But then when it hits the practical, like, but you still got to make the choice to walk away from that thing, you know? You can have all the pieces stacked in your favor. You can, yeah, I really want to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. But when Spirit, Universe, God presents that opportunity to make the choice, you better make the choice, right? And that's basically what's that saying. So it's Friday, something might get, you know, dangled in front of you today that looks a little appealing, looks a little alluring. You know, but again, like, I do feel like your intuition is going to tell you, you're going to know whether this fits for you or not. And honestly, I feel this with that Venus energy in sextile to Saturn. It's a harmonious aspect. I feel like whatever this is presented to you, it's like your desire for love and care and nurture of yourself is going to be what gives you the clarity to say, like, no, this isn't my vibe. I don't think I really want to go down this road. If you're being a little stubborn, if you're not taking that second to take a step back and really evaluate, then that Mars energy is going to rule. It's going to take over Venus and say, you know, I'm going to do whatever the F I want. And, you know, I mean, that's not a good, bad, right, or wrong. Every choice takes us down a certain path. So, you know, I don't really look at it. I think that there's better choices for us. Like, obviously, there's choices from a place of integrity and morality and, what we're trying to accomplish in life. But sometimes, like, our ego does take over, and sometimes we're stubborn about certain things. And, while I don't specifically see that happening, because your Mars energy is also harmoniously aspected to Saturn, this is also saying that kind of like don't let that stubbornness or retaliation get the best of you. So I hope this helped, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Happy Friday. I hope you have a fabulous beginning to the weekend. If you enjoyed the video, definitely give me a double thumbs up, share, subscribe. Let's build and grow the community. If you're interested in personal readings, I am open for business. So check that info out in the description box below. Otherwise, looking forward to seeing you soon. Lots of love and light. Thank you for the love and support. I appreciate you always.